usual, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming along. So, I don't actually have much of a lesson plan today. I thought what I'd do is, I know there was something that one or two people have requested, just to a little bit of clarification on how to set up a Unity, like a template with all of your everything that you use already installed, and then instead of actually setting up a brand new project each time and having to import everything each time, there is a little bit of a quicker way of workaround that most people I'm sure you're aware of it, but some people aren't really and don't really get their head around it. So I thought I'd just go over that quickly.
Better workflow would help for sure.
Yeah. So we'll go over that, and then I thought we'd do a little bit more modelling, but this time instead of working on something with metaballs, you making kind of more organic shapes like the cave and the rocks and things like that. I thought we'd start making something like a room with walls and doors and windows and whatnot, and show how to just create a basic space to start with, that you can then fill up with assets that you can download or model yourself. We could maybe in the future as well, maybe in another lesson, go over making some furniture, maybe a sofa, chairs, table, things like that. But we'll start off with just the basic room. But the main thing I wanted to do, let's just double check. I am definitely recording. Yes, I am, because I had a bit of a panic there. Main thing I wanted to do was just to show you, like I've got here a project set up called Base Template Banter. I've just called it. And if I open that up in
Is your
Excel,
screen updating right now? Because I'm not seeing anything change. So I gotta re-enter. I'll be
oh,
right back.
okay.
It just froze on me.
I'm on a Quest 3 and I can see it.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good.
Mm.
Excellent. Maybe anybody that is having issues with the Quest 3 just needs to reload their space a couple of times, or maybe, because I noticed that just this afternoon there's been another update pushed. At least there was on Steam, so I don't know whether there has been on Quest. But anyway, yeah, as I say,
Yeah, the screen isn't playing for me.
Oh,
That's strange.
it needed an update to get on.
okay.
I don't know why it's not. Because do you have Unity up on the screen right now?
No.
I have Unity
No,
Hub up on the screen right now.
Yeah, I'm just seeing people in the room. That's it. That's just strange. Why it's doing that? Huh.
Sorry.
Let me just try restarting the stream.
No, it's not you. He has to restart Banter.
Yeah, I know, but I was just wondering that maybe I'd shared the wrong screen. Instead of sharing my entire PC screen, I'd shared a window.
No.
No?
No, I can see your project. I can see your project's
running. Session is over, yeah.
Okay.
Publisher left.
Let's do it
And you
again.
press stop sharing, so.
Share. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick.
It's working now. Good, it's live.
Reload again for everybody.
It's fine. I have wine, so I'm okay.
No, it's not streaming. Oh, yeah, now it is.
I can see myself.
Yep,
I can see Pony, and I can see Tokka.
Okay.
And everyone else.
Okie dokie. So I'll just open up this base template that I made. Just so you can see, first of all, that there's nothing in there except for the things that I need to use. So when it eventually loads, it's nothing there. All I've got installed is Amplify, Bakery, and the Banter uploader, an SDK. And everything else is just as it is. Let's just double check I've got my project settings right. That's on linear, yeah. So we're good to go. That's basically all I've got installed. So this...
I have a guide on Space Makers from the 11th of April
Mm-hmm.
that people can use if they want to have do the template.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think it was Divine who said that she's read the guide, but she would like to actually see how it's done. Or she said
Yeah.
there was something somewhere, but she didn't fully understand it and wanted to see how it was done. So I thought we'd go over that first. It'll only take a couple of minutes. As I say, we've got it here. It's literally just a case of...
Perfect timing.
Okay. Oh,
Grab a
there
seat.
we go. Hello. I'm just about to go over the duplicating a project folder for you. So you can see how it's
Sorry,
done.
I'm late,
No problem.
teacher.
So I've literally got my basic template that's got everything I need in it. And it's literally just copy and paste. And then once it's copied, add it into your your Unity hub, and you're good to go. It's set up, ready to go. So we'll just wait for this to finish doing its stuff, because these are big folders.
So you created a blank Banter template
I did.
for all set up.
Yes.
Okay.
All set up, ready to go with the things I use and the Banter uploader, but it's just empty. There's nothing in there.
Okay.
Ay. Does take a while, but we're nearly there.
SDK 2 isn't out yet, right?
Don't know. Well, I mean, there's a new client has been pushed. Yeah, we're on that.
The client's out, but not the
Yeah.
actual Unity uploader.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
Fixing bugs
I
this
see
week.
what you mean about the uploader. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to
Fixing bugs this week. They're working on SDK 2 next week.
Next week.
So,
Okay.
no, not saying next week. They're working on it next week. So
Yeah.
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 polishing it up. So that's what Shane said yesterday.
Okay. So I'm just going to rename this. I'm just going to call it Rooms, because that's what we're going to be working on. And you literally just add project from disk, and you find Rooms, and that's it set up, ready to go. So you've got your copy.
Awesome, thank you. But that wasn't actually for me, but that was for everybody.
Okay.
I was actually thinking of the picture thing, like taking the texture from Blender and then putting it back in, or putting it into Paint and then putting it back into Blender. But I actually figured that out on my own.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, I can certainly go over as well.
But you could show
texture painting within Blender itself as well, so you don't need to keep exporting stuff to a paint program.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just going to double check my packages and make sure that we don't need any updates. If we do, I've got to remember to go back to no, that one's absolutely fine. We need to go back to the template and update that so it's ready for future use, and that one's up to date as well. So we're fine. There's nothing to change. So I'm going to go into Blender.
Awesome.
And I've just
Did you want to go over what was what was required in terms of that Sin machine and all those things that's required for the environment?
I can do. That was all done in the very first lesson. It's all on YouTube,
okay.
on the video.
Okay,
I
missed
go
that
over
one.
everything. Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to quickly go through it again. So you basically need to search for XR in the Unity registry. Do it again, XR. And you need to install the XR plugin management and the Oculus XR plugin. You can see the ones that have been ticked. And you need to search for Cine Machine. And you can see that one's also ticked.
Yep.
It's installed, so it's only got a remove button. And then after that, you need the latest SDK, which I have in my D drive in Banter Projects, and it's down here somewhere. I've got the SDK 0.0.4. And you just either double
You can
click
find it on Discord.
Yeah, you can find it on Discord, and you can just drag it into there and install it, and you're good to go. And then the last thing I always check is go into your project settings and make sure under player, under color space rendering, you're set to linear, not gamma. For some reason, mine is always on gamma when I start a new project.
I was wondering if that's what screwed me up in one of my projects.
Yeah, it really messes
Because I
with
went
your
into the space and
lighting.
I'm like, what happened to my textures? They're all screwed up.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well,
maybe that's what it was.
depends. If it's a case of your lighting is all off and everything is like really, really bright and bleached out, then that is likely because you're on gamma and not linear. If it's a case of your textures aren't working, as in the normal maps aren't working or transparency isn't working correctly, it could be the shader you're using, because Banter doesn't support the standard Unity shader.
It doesn't at all.
No. You're okay for basic colours and things and maybe a basic texture, but to be honest, if you're just using a colour or a texture, I wouldn't recommend the standard shader anyway. It's way too bloated. You need a much simpler shader. And I would normally recommend one of the, if it's basic stuff that you're using, I would recommend one of the mobile shaders. These are very good. The Unlits one is really good because it supports light maps and you can pop a texture in there and still bake your
Where
light
should we
maps.
find the SDK, the new one on the oh my god, on the
Discord.
Sorry, thank you. I just woke up.
Let's have a look. It's in here somewhere. And I think I just searched for 0.0.4 or something like that. I should find it. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's my my walkthrough.
There we go. It's the first result that came up anyway. And yeah, it's Iron Wolf's walkthrough there, and he's even got a link to where to get the SDK 0.0.4 package. Oh, and for some reason it's actually downloaded it for me. Look at that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Right, so where was that? Let's just close this for now. And we'll open up Blender.
So does that package come with some shaders already, or do we have to go source those shaders?
You know what? I don't know. Does the SDK come with shaders? I don't think it does. That's just scripts.
Mine did. Or no, it was scripts. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was shaders.
Yeah, it comes with scripts. We will be covering scripts a bit later on. But we're going to
There's some shaders on Discord.
Yes, there are.
There is some on this. Yeah.
I think there's a channel. Is it called Shader Works or something like that? There, Shader Works, and anybody who's got,
some of those
useful
channels
shaders.
don't stay. They don't. They like you click on it and then you leave it and it disappears. I don't know why Discord does that.
How bizarre! I've never.
Because I clicked on it once. Someone sent me a link. I clicked on it. I got into it, and then I got out of it once something else came back. I'm like, it was gone. It just didn't stay in the list. I don't know why.
Maybe you need to grab your rolls up here.
Unless there's something new they brought out. Maybe they brought out some new stuff.
Yeah, there's a section here that
I
says,
thought I had everything
if
selected.
you're like a 3D
I had that all
artist
selected.
or whatever, VR developer, whatever you want, just choose that. I think, what have I chosen? I've chosen I build spaces. That would probably get you the shaders thing. But yeah, if you
Yeah.
choose the correct
Yeah.
things that you want, and you'll get access to all the channels that you can't normally see. So it's definitely worth doing.
Yes,
a-
I have
doing a
Space
check.
Makers, but it's the only thing I have there. I have nothing else.
Mhm.
I have none of those other categories. It's just
Okay.
strange.
And it's not a case
Yeah.
of you've got the spaces thing minimized.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
No, that's
Might be
yeah.
worth
I'll have to figure it out.
just asking. Maybe ask Shane,
Yep.
not asking the general channel,
Yeah.
or if Shane
Okay,
can
no
give you
problem.
access to it, or as I say, just check the grab your roles thing, and just double check that you've got World Builder selected
Thank you.
from the icons. But yeah, let's just close that again. We'll go back here. I'm just going to delete everything to start with, because even though we're probably going to start with a default cube, it's just traditional, isn't it? You delete the default cube and then you bring in a new one. So we'll start with a cube. Because everybody does it. I mean, you watch any tutorials on YouTube and they always delete the cube and then start with a cube. So I've just gone into edit mode. Everything's selected. I'm just going to move it up by pressing the G key. Oh, you know what I've forgotten to do? I haven't turned on my screencast keys. Let's do that as well. There we go. So we're in edit mode. G key to move, G for grab,
Sorry.
Z on the Z axis, press 1. And that will actually put your box flat on the floor, but you'll still have your origin point in the correct place. And that just means, obviously, we want it in the correct place, because if we want to scale this up or down, we want it to still have the bottom on the floor. If we were to do it the other way, so add mesh cube, and we just moved it up without going into edit mode, the origin point is still in the center, and it will use that as the point it's going to scale from. So as soon as we increase the size, it's lower than the floor, which isn't what we want.
So you did what? You re-origined it? Is that what you did?
Yep, so you see the yellow dot in the center of the cube
Yeah.
there?
Yes. Yes.
That is its origin point. So whenever
Right.
you scale something, it will scale it from that origin point. So if I was to scale this up,
Oh.
it scales everything outwards from that point. So if we then were to move this up by a meter, because the default cube in Blender is 2 meters square, the origin point is still in the center. So if I was to add a plane, so you can kind of see where the floor is a bit better, we'll just turn on cavity so you can see everything a little bit more clear. So it's sitting on the floor. If we scale that up, it's going through the floor because it's scaling
Right.
it from that origin point. So what we do normally is add a cube, go into edit mode, move it up by a meter and come out of edit mode. So anything you do in edit mode doesn't move the origin point. So I could even go into edit mode and move this box way over here, and its origin point is still there.
Right.
So by doing that, we've kept the origin point dead on the bottom of the box. So now when we scale it up, it stays on the
Oh,
floor,
nice.
but the box gets bigger because it's scaling from that point there. So that's the first thing we want to do. This is going to be a room of some sort. And what I'm going to do is start by, because we can add them in later, I'm going to start by removing the ceiling and the floor by just pressing X and F, delete faces basically. So I've just pressed X, and you can see a menu pops up, and you've got delete faces. The F has a little underscore, so that's obviously the button that we need to press if we don't click it on the menu. So XF is a quick way of doing it. So there's our room. Let's say we want it to be, I don't know, the default sizes in Blender, I believe, are meters. So we'll just stick with that for now. We'll say 4 meters by 6 meters. There's our room. And you'll see the scale has changed. We always want to keep the scale at 1:1:1. So I'll just reset that, and I did that by hitting Control and A, apply, and then I hit A again, which is all transforms. Be careful with that. Don't get into the habit of doing Control and A and then A again straight away, because sometimes you don't want to reset the location. You might need its origin to be in a specific place, in which case it would be Control and A and O for rotation and scale only. That will become clear a bit later on, why you might need that. But for now, what we're going to do is just imagine this is going to be, I don't know, some kind of room, a living room or whatever. We think about what the first thing is we need. We need to know where the windows and doors are so that we know where to put the furniture. So we'll have a think about a door. What's the standard size for a door? We'll look it up. So I think the standard size for a door is
2 meters,
2'6" by
2 meters.
6'6".
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about correct.
In fact, look,
Yep.
I've even looked it up already. Dimensions of a standard interior door, 2'6" by 6'6". So we'll just do that. We'll want to make the room the right height, first of all. It's only 2 meters high. I think the standard in the UK is about 2.8 meters. Some places it's 3, some places it's more. We'll keep it a nice round number, and we'll just make it 3 meters here. And then we'll create a cube, which is going to be our door, first of all. And I'm just going to move it up so it's on the floor again. We'll just move it out here so you can see it a little bit better, what I'm doing. So the door needs to be 2'6" that way and 6'6" that way. So that way is the Y axis. You can see it's green, and green here says Y. So Y, 2 feet. You can put in 2 feet 6 inches, even though
Oh, you
we're
can.
working in meters.
Oh, good.
It'll convert it.
Oh, good.
So there, you see it said 0.762
Nice.
meters. And for the Z, we want 6 feet 6 inches, 1.98 meters. So that is our door. Now, to make sure it cuts through the bottom properly, I always just lower the bottom a little bit. So I'll just select that face, move it down on the Z axis just by a bit so it's lower than the bottom of the wall. And then we can just move it over here and hope this is going to work all right. There's a couple of ways you can do this. There's the long way,
Boolean.
which is just using a Boolean modifier, yeah. So we need to select the wall, because that's what we're going to apply the modifier to. Select Boolean. We want difference. Well, there's a few different things these do. Union joins them together again. Intersect just cuts it, so you've got a slice. And difference actually removes the bit where the box is occupying. So we select the box, which is going to be our Boolean object. And you can see there we've already got yellow lines around it. If you don't want to get rid of the box just yet, we can, which is a good thing to do, just go into Viewport Display, and which is, sorry, I know I'm going ahead way too quick. I forget. Object Properties, the orange box here. Viewport Display, and change this from textured to wire. So now this is almost invisible, but you can see where your door is. And you can literally move this, and I'll move it on the y-axis. You can put the door wherever you like, and you can see where it's cutting through the wall. So we'll put it about there, I think. And then we'll have a think about what else we're going to do. Maybe a window.
How do you make that permanent now? Because right now it's not, right?
Yep, well, we can do. To make it permanent, you just go into your modifiers and apply it.
Okay.
And once it's applied, you can delete your Boolean object, and that's it, set in stone.
Okay, great.
So working with Booleans is good if you think you're going to want to move things around a little bit. It's a good way of working non-destructively, and then once you're happy with where everything is, you can apply them. But to be honest, even when you export your models as an FBX to import into Unity, it will automatically apply the modifiers anyway when it exports it. But it won't affect your Blender file. You'll still have that non-destructive workflow going. So that's an interior door there. I'm going to look up again what an exterior door size is.
Don't you need a floor?
And that's 3 feet.
No, no,
by 6
no, that
feet.
can always come later. That's easy.
A what, sorry?
She said, why don't we have a floor?
Well, I've deleted the ceiling and floor for
yeah.
now. Yeah, but we can, that can come afterwards. For now, I'm just working on the walls. So we're going to add the ceiling and floor afterwards. I'm going to stick an exterior door somewhere, and I think I'll put it over here. So we'll just create another cube, move it up by a meter, move it over on the Y.
I gotta get myself a number pad.
This one needs to be 3 feet on the X and 6 feet 6 inches on the Y. And then I'll do the same thing and just bring that bottom face down a bit. And then we can move it over on the Y. And then the other way of doing a Boolean is if you come up to the edit menu and preferences and do a search under add-ons here, do a search for loop, and you'll get loop. No, it's not loop, is it? It's bool tool. We're going to go into loop tools as well. I thought I had that in me mind because we're going to be covering that. Bool tool, just tick that.
Bool tool, okay.
And you'll get this extra thing. Now, with this one, what you do is you select your cutter, your Boolean cutter object first, and then the object you want to cut second. So you hold down Shift and select the object you want to cut. So the main object you're cutting the hole into should be yellow and the cutters should be orange. And then you literally hit Control and minus, and that's all done for you. There's your Boolean. And that's all built into Blender. You don't have to pay for anything. It's there free. You can also, if I do that again, if you press Control and plus, it will actually union them. So it's joined those together into one mesh now. But I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Ooh. And we'll just move that over here. So that's my exterior door, that's my interior door.
If you join them together, could you make it like a long hallway and then empty that cube as well? Or no?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll apply that. Just get rid of the cutter for now.
So is is that tool putting in the modifier for you automatically and all that stuff?
It is, yes.
It's doing for you?
Yes, it does everything for you. And you could use anything at all. Anything can be a Boolean.
Right.
you know, we could use a sphere. Bring that over here.
That's cool. Cut a circle in.
Control minus. And there it is.
Awesome.
With a circle shape.
Oh, we're making a hobbit house.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
We do. We do, absolutely.
But you could change the shape of the sphere too, and it'll be that shape, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be
absolutely.
round. It could be,
Mhm.
yeah, you can make an oval, whatever.
Yeah, and another
Cool.
cool thing you can do is if I bring in this cube again, and we'll just move it over. Control and minus. You can actually add a modifier to the Boolean cutter tool as well. We might want to add a bevel modifier, for instance. And just increase that, and you can see how the bevel
Oh, that's so cool.
is affecting
Oh, wow.
the doorway. If we move this up,
Oh. What? Wow.
and that's just by beveling the actual modifier itself. Not the modifier, the Boolean cutter object.
That's
Oh,
cool.
you can
Extruding
actually
it
make a little.
inwards,
You can make a
though.
windowsill on the inside, or well, a seating area on the inside,
You could.
under
Yeah,
the
you
window.
can do so much stuff, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
is that
Booleans
was that
can
cutting
really
then,
help.
or
Yes, it was. Yeah.
oh, it looked like it was extruding it inwards.
Yeah, I know. It can be a little bit glitchy. Sometimes there's two modes with Booleans. There's exact and there's fast. And I think exact is what it's set on by default. And sometimes you do need to just toggle between them and see which one works best. See, that one hasn't... Oh, that's because I had them selected the wrong way around. There we go. Yeah. So if we change that to fast... No, that doesn't work either. How bizarre. That is a bit strange, isn't it?
What would it do if you put it on the other side?
Well, it wouldn't do anything, would it?
On the other wall?
It'd just be the
No,
same.
it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just reverse.
But you see, what I
Oh.
could do is just apply that and just delete all of them. And then it still kind of worked, hasn't it? But yeah, it is a bit glitchy. Bool Tool isn't always perfect. So yeah, sometimes it's best to just go the long way around and use the Boolean that's built in. But yeah, to answer your question about making a tunnel, what I would do in that case is I'd go
A
into
hallway.
edge mode. Yeah, a hallway.
Oh.
I would just select
Extrude.
that. Yeah, exactly. Just extrude it along the Y. And you've got a hallway.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
kind of the same size as the door, which is a bit naff, really, isn't it? So what I would probably normally do is I'd maybe create another cube.
A cube.
Yeah, look at that.
Woohoo!
We'll just
Come
move
learn
that
how to
over
make
here.
cubes.
Now, this is cool. This is really cool. If you want to size things perfectly, the way things were, get things exactly right, we'll just, first of all, we'll just do what I did before and delete the ceiling and floor. 'Cause
Hey, we're in a class right now.
Thank you.
Now, why isn't that selecting? Am I in the right thing? There we go. So, up here, you've got snap tools. And these are really, really useful. I use these all the time. If you set this to edge, I can literally, well, we can either click the magnet and it'll do it for you. I don't usually use the magnet. I use the control button. So I might say, for instance, I'll press G for grab, Z on the x-axis, and I want to move it up so it's in line with this edge here. I just hit control and it's perfectly in line.
Nice.
I could go into face mode, select this face, and move this on the x-axis to be in perfect line with this wall. So
Miss Teacher, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you single by any chance?
Am
Oh,
I
come
a
on, dude.
singer?
Oh, so sad.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Anyhow.
Yeah, that's how you would make your room or your tunnel or whatever it's going to be exactly the same size as your original one. So it's not as long, but it's the same height and the same width.
So how did you get that to a line again? You had to do what?
We've got this set to edge, so I've been aligning
Oh,
it with
that's
the
why.
edges
Okay.
of the objects. So this face, I can move it back again, and then I just press G for grab, move it on the x-axis, hover over this line here, and press Control and click. And that's it
okay.
done,
Nice.
all lined up, perfect. So what we can do,
I do it the hard way.
Top mode doesn't do much, does it? Because we're invisible, we're infinitely thin, these walls. But what we'll do is we'll move this on the y-axis so it's a little bit closer. And then, if we cut a hole in this wall that matches this, we can join them together using loop tools. So what I would do, I'll go into face mode. No, I won't. I'll go into edge mode. And if you press Control and R, you get a loop. Well, it's a line, but if we were to do it all the way around the box, you get a loop all the way around. But just go next to the edge, put your cursor next to the edge you want the loop on. It'll automatically be in the middle. But if you click it and then hover over this line and press Control and click, that's it perfectly in the right place. Goodness gracious.
Boy, it's raining in here, huh?
Do the same thing.
Feels like Florida all over again.
And then I'm going to do a one that lines up with that top line. So when you look on the inside,
Yeah.
we've got a perfect cut and we can delete that face. So now, this is where Loop Tools comes into its own. So again, if you go to Preferences and search for Loop under Add-ons, again, it's built into Blender, so it's free. It's there already. You've just got to enable it. So tick where it says Loop Tools. And then what you'll get, if we join these two together by pressing, just select both of them and press Control and J, then it's all one object, all one mesh. And we can go into edit mode, select the edge. We can select the other edge by holding down Alt and Shift. Shift is to add to your selection, obviously. So you would hold down Shift and select whichever lines you want. Alt is if you want to select connecting lines like loops that are all connected. But I'm not going to do that because it's actually selecting the bottom ones here and I don't want these bottom lines selected. So I'll just do them by hand. We'll select that, that and that, that, that and that. And then if you press F3 on your keyboard, in fact it's already there, I shouldn't have done that. F3 on your keyboard, you'll get a menu up, and if you search for bridge, it'll come up with bridge edge loops. You can also select Control and E to get that up as well, and it tells you there for shortcuts, and it will actually join those together. So your room is joined, and you've got a door that you can walk through.
Now we got a back storage room.
Yeah.
Now we have the back rooms.
Add in a plane so that we've got a floor. And if you select, is it under view? I've got it under my Q menu, my quick menu, walk navigation. But if you hit, I think it's view, navigation, and select walk navigation, and then hit G for gravity, you can actually, using your WASD keys and your mouse, you can have a little walk around your room and check, see how it looks. Go
Oh
through
my
the
gosh,
door,
I have to watch the video for that.
see how that is.
That's cool.
And
That's
when
a
you're
nice
done
feature.
with that, you just left click and you're back to where you were. It's a good way if you've got a huge world of finding something. I used to use this all the time in a world that Bart and I built. Well, Bart did most of it. It was the video game history museum in Old Space. And whenever I was trying
Oh, that
to
was
find,
you?
that was
Oh,
us
I remember
too,
that. That was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was awesome.
Whenever we
Lisa.
were trying to find, yes, Bart?
Another really cool add-on you could probably maybe show people is the VR add-on, which is really cool.
Yeah,
actually,
that's
like,
that was something else I
Yeah.
wanted to
what's
look
it in
into.
your...
You know
really
what? I
like that
can't
one.
even remember how to. If that is that something I've got to enable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
think it is.
add-ons.
If you have your headset linked to your PC, if you're on PC VR, yeah, you can actually walk around in VR. There it is, VR scene inspection. You just enable that. And you can do the same thing rather than in 2D as I am now. You can actually go through in your headset and have a look at your world and make sure everything is to scale and stuff. That's often a lot better rather than uploading it and then having to go into your world. You can do it directly in Blender. But as I say,
Yeah,
I used
that's
to
nice.
use that navigation thing for finding stuff I needed to tweak because that world was so huge. I used to run through it in Blender in walk navigation and then left click and think, there it is, now I can select that object and continue modelling on it.
Were you gonna bring that to Banter by chance?
Yes, that is the plan eventually. Yes,
Awesome.
but it's a massive world. It's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of work.
But we do have a part 2 which was 90% finished and obviously Old Space closed down. So it would be a shame for that to go to waste as well. So yeah, it would be nice to have part 1 and 2 in here eventually. But where were we? Yes, we've done the room, we've done the door. There's another cool add-on that you might find useful, which I'm not sure. It should work before these walls are solidified. Again, if you open up your preferences and you search for Archi, as in architecture, and just take Archimesh, you can do some pretty cool things in here. It gives you, under create in your N panel here, you can actually add stuff to it. So I might want to, for instance, add a panel window, maybe, or maybe not, a real window. And if you just select the empty that it's attached to, you can move it up. It's already got its cutters in, so you've just got to set up the boolean. Move it along on the Y, say, get it kind of in the center. And then if we add a boolean, we'll just open up this window group till we find the control hole, it's called. Select the control hole as your cutter object, and it'll automatically cut a hole in your wall for your windows. But it works better, as I say, we've got the same error here. It works better when your walls are solidified and you've got normals on both sides. At the moment we're working with one normal, so it's a bit janky. But that's something we can have a look at. I wonder if I could just solidify this now. Let's just add another modifier. Solidify, and we'll move it up so it does that first before the boolean. Choose how thick we want our walls to be. Of course, it's making the doors smaller, which is not really what we wanted. I don't really want to solidify this, you know. This is not what I want. So we'll just get rid of this for now. The reason I'm not is because come on. Right. So the reason I'm not solidifying it is because I'm going to instead, let's just get rid of that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for face orientation. What I want to do, first of all, that is flipped. All your faces need to be blue. All the faces that you need to see need to be blue. So you can currently only see this from the outside once it's in Unity. Anything that's red will be invisible because the normal's facing this way, the blue way. So we're going to select this, go into face mode, still got the wrong thing selected, try it again. Go into face mode, select everything, and then I always use Alt and N, which brings up the normals menu, and then just F or select flip, and that'll flip everything. So now once you're inside the room, you'll be able to see the walls. You won't be looking at the environment outside, but once you're outside the room, you will be able to see inside. And my usual way of doing this would be to set up all my rooms as I want them with me connecting doorways and stuff. And then I would usually create another cube. Surprise, surprise. I'm just going to turn off face orientation because that does me head in. Set up another cube. Go into face mode. Move that up so it's in line with... It's not right. Move it up on the Z so it's in line with that. There we go. And then I would literally just move me faces so they're just outside the actual house or whatever. Oh, come on. And then by going into X-ray mode, you can then cut your door and bridge edge loops as you did before. Do the same for your windows. But at least that way, you've got normals facing on the outside, which you can apply brick textures to, and normals facing on the inside, which you can apply, you know, wallpaper or paint or whatever to. Now the reason this is flickering here is because we've got two lots of normals. We've got the bottom of the big box on the outside, and we've got the plane. So we're getting
Z fighting.
Z fighting, yeah. And you do notice that a lot, and that's useful when you're in face orientation mode. You'll really see if there's any Z fighting going on, so you don't have to start fixing stuff after you've already finished your world and uploaded to Glitch or wherever. So let's come back.
But you don't want so instead of having the normals on both sides, you're saying you do it to different objects.
I do,
because
yes,
it's better.
I do.
It's better
but
that way.
Only if
performance.
I need an outside of my walls.
Right.
Obviously, by creating, like for instance, here we've got two rooms together. We don't need another side to each of these walls. We only need to be able to see this side and this side, and that's it.
Right.
So you're actually creating unnecessary geometry. That's quite a big face to be recreating, and the same on here. And if you're going to bake your lighting, that's all going to take up space in your light map, and it won't be seen. It's a complete waste of
Oh.
resources.
Okay.
So anywhere where you can get rid of faces that you'll never ever see, like for instance, you might have, I don't know, maybe a clock on the wall. We'll just create a quick scale it on the Y. Ooh, try that again, Lisa. Scale it on the Y. And scale it on everything except the Y. Move it up. Here's another one. We'll use this snap again, but we're going to snap it to a face. So we'll just hover over that face on the Y. And there it is, dead on the wall. Which is fine, if that's what you want. But you've got this back face, which is never going to be seen, but it'll be baked into your light map and it'll be rendered and it'll be textured and everything else. And it's
Right.
just, again, it's just using resources. So I would usually just go into edit mode, delete the face, and then snap it to your wall, and it's done.
Huh.
And you've only got the faces you need. So
Would you remove the outer wall, if you didn't need to see that
yes,
as well? Or
if
Yeah.
if it's an environment like the back rooms, for instance, you never go outside in the back rooms. It's always an interior. Well, you might go outside if you glitch your way out, like I have done before, trying to fly. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you can see through the walls when you do get outside. You can see through the walls to the interior because there is no
You can
exterior
cheat.
wall. Yeah, there's no need for an exterior wall. It's just wasting resources. If it's an environment you're only going to be inside, don't waste your time making an outside. It's all about, as I say, what you can see and what you can interact with. Everything else, even down to the smallest face, I always advise, get rid of it. If you don't need it, get rid of it. So yeah.
what would the thickening have done then? Would the thickening have added normals, or would it?
Yes, so if I add a solidify modifier onto here,
Yeah.
I'll just increase that. You can see we've now got a face here and a face here, and it's created all these outside faces. Once that's
And have they got
applied-
normals on them now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that will create more normals then?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
So basically, a normal is, it's not a face, but there is a normal on everything. There's a normal on a face, an edge, a vertex. You can see them if you pull down this menu here. Is this the one I'm looking for? Lordy, can't blooming find it now. Where's the bit where you look for normals? Can anyone remember? Because I can't. It's not face orientation. Yeah, I can't
Is it
remember how to get
origins?
to it now. What,
Is that-
sorry?
Is it Origins? That's not the
No.
one where you were
As well,
before.
quite.
Oh, me brain, honestly, me brain is just, I can't think. But basically what it does is it tells you the little lines. Did I hear Eileen's voice there? Can you remind me how to show normals?
You have to switch into face mode first.
Ah, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So
That
is
is
it one
so
of
awesome.
these?
You know her voice just by
And
her
there at the
saying,
bottom.
There we go. Thank you. There it is. See, that's all I'd forgotten was I need to switch into face mode. So yeah, you've got your normals, and you can see there's a one on a vertex, on an edge, and on a face, and you can turn all of these on to have a look at them. Because I've got them facing inwards, because it's an interior, you can see these little blue lines. That's where it's showing where your normal's facing. These ones are going off at 45 degrees because they're on a corner. but you've also got normals on edges, and you've got normals on faces. And the faces are probably the most useful. They're the ones you need to really keep an eye on. I think you can also increase the length of these as well, can't you? So you can see them a bit better. We'll just turn off the other ones. So you can see that there are no normals pointing outwards on the outside because of the simple fact that we inverted them under face orientation, because it's going to be an interior scene, and blue is what we want. Blue is good. So yeah, that's how you can view your normals and see which way they're pointing and if you've got any issues with anything. But yeah, we'll turn that back off for now. How we're doing for time? We're out of time. It's 8 o'clock already, and all we've done is created a couple of doors, but that's fine. We answered a few questions.
And you were doing the Unity project setup too, so.
Yeah, that's true. That only took a few minutes. But it's surprising how quickly the time goes. What we'll do next week is we'll continue with that, and we'll put some windows and stuff in, and maybe make a few more rooms and make adjoining doors and stuff. Try and use a few more modifiers that you might find useful. I don't want to bombard you with too much stuff, but those things like the booleans and the loop tools, bridge edge loops and things like that are really useful. Bridge edge loops is wonderful. There are so many interesting things you can do with that. So I'll show you something else with that next week as well. It's way more than just filling in doorways. But yeah, we're going to have to leave it at that, I'm afraid, because we're a minute over. But thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I
you,
hope to see
Lisa.
you all next week. Yeah, have fun playing around, making rooms
On
for now,
time.
and we'll expand on it next week.